Joins me here on Tri-City Sports Now to close it out on Monday. Usually, the last half hour, he's usually there. We've been talking about ETSU football. Now, I mentioned this. The Buccaneers are one of 7 teams that John Hooper thinks can win the Southern Conference this year. Everybody, but VMI, no surprise there. And it's Samford, I think, is the other team you just don't see that after Devlin Hodges left. Is that correct?
I just don't see how you can lose a guy like Devlin Hodges. Kelvin McKnight, who was in camp with the Broncos, a receiver, and you lose Ahmad Gooden, who might have been the best defensive player, not named this year player, in the SoCon last year. I just don't see how you lose those 3 elements and can replace that. That being said, I think they've got some very good young talent. But I think it'll be. I don't see them. I see them struggling to finish in the upper half of the SoCon and maybe struggling to have a winning season. But I think next year they'll be very good.
Well, by the way, did you by any chance see Devlin Hodges play against Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the Steelers on Friday night?
I saw him throw a touchdown pass, so I did see that, and I heard he got some pretty good reviews from how he played. So
okay.
I'm excited for him. I hope he can hang on. And I know it's a clipboard job there, but I mean, heck, that's a statement. Maybe he can, catch on there in a few years. Who knows?
Well,
in the future.
Yeah. Now I got to tell you, I saw the game, and he's up against Josh Dobbs, late of Tennessee, and Mason Rudolph, late of Oklahoma State, and I think that Rudolph played the best of any of the QBs. There were some decisions, especially in the pocket, turning one way or the other, and that resulted in, say, a sack for Hodges. And I know that Dobbs was sacked twice himself, but Dobbs had a long pass of 43 yards and such. He didn't have any touchdown passes, but he was the starting quarterback in the game. I didn't get the sense from watching him play, in my opinion, that he was going to beat out either Dobbs or Rudolph. I did get the sense that Rudolph would move ahead of Dobbs. If you're looking at that, if you're a Tennessee fan, that's what I did get the sense of. A lot of my old time around Pittsburgh, a lot of the guys that I would sort of rub shoulders with, some of them are like, hey, look, there's no way Steelers are keeping 4 quarterbacks. They're not going to have an FCS free agent come in and take the job away from reasonably high draft choice of the last 2 years. And there's absolutely no chance he's going to beat out Ben Roethlisberger. We all know that. But, so there was that sort of element there. I do remember when Bill Cowher coached the team, there was one year that they kept 4 quarterbacks. I don't think that's going to happen this year. But no, we shall see. I'm wondering if the best thing for him might not be to just have that resume of, hey, look, I did impress, sign with the XFL and go the Tommy Maddox route into the NFL in 5 years or so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they had the Arena Football Championship, yesterday and such. So, yes, although it seems like the Arena Football players now they're a little bit more Arena Football players. This has been consider.
It wouldn't be bad for him to maybe go NFL Europe and then try. I think he's just in the wrong.
What is NFL Europe now? Is that still what? I'm trying to remember. Is that
the Rhine Fires?
Is that still around?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
For the SoCon signed that. You don't hear about it here, which is kind of strange.
The Rhine Fire. Wait a minute. I think their last year was 2006. I'm typing this in.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
There is some
2007 was their last year. It's I'll put it this year. The Rhine Fire was a pro football team in NFL Europe, formerly the World League of American Football, and the NFL Europe ended in 2007. Don't worry, SoCon John Hooper. I have twice on today's show said Winston Cup.
Okay, well, amazingly, somewhere where they have professional players playing that can be a minor league to the NFL.
He probably has a better pro prospect than, let's say, Austin Herring playing in Vienna.
Yes.
Okay.
I would think so. And,
yes.
I think that into where he is right now is it's a tough situation. Those are
No.
I think if he was at a different, a different organization, it might work out better for him.
I was surprised why you signed with the Steelers because, like I said, it seemed like, you would want to as a free agent, okay, do I have a shot to make it as a third stringer? This sort of thing. And you're like, wait a minute, you're going to try to beat out this guy who was a 4th-round pick and got some, and was the backup last year and is young, and then you're going to go with another guy who was a 3rd-round pick after that. And, Roethlisberger, that's out of the question. Was there no other team interested in him? That's the question there. You're there at Samford. Couldn't, Jacksonville, which you would think would have some sort of open, that's nearby. Weren't they, say, we'll sign you and you can maybe be the backup to Folks this year or
maybe
something.
Atlanta, something like that.
You never played behind Ryan, but you were starting to think, wait a minute here, And by the way, don't think that geography doesn't mean something in those, in those pairings and all that. In fact, I wonder because, Chan Gailey used to be a coach at Samford, and, maybe that has something to do with it, or so that they would look at a guy from Samford or whatnot, but we'll see, and all this. I wonder if Bill Kreider is still in the scouting department of the Steelers. He was an old Furman running back. I'd have to double check that. But anyway, played for Dick Sheridan.
I actually think he came to when Samford played at Furman last year, and I think that I'm right about saying that, and he ended up, the Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs were there looking haunted. And of course, that's the game where the kid from Furman kicked, I think, 4 field goals in the first half, and 3 of them were for 50-plus yards. So they're like, who is that guy?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, speaking of him, he had a 63-yard field goal in the scrimmage this past weekend.
Who are you speaking of?
Grayson Atkins.
Okay.
The kicker. He kicked a 63-yarder, which probably would have been good from 65. Kid's just got a tremendous, a cannon of a leg. I guess you can say that. But yeah, there's some interesting positional battles going on. There's another one at ETSU. You think about who's going to be a starter at center, replacing the Jacobs Blocking Award winner.
I'll tell you who that'll be. It'll be Ben Blackman. That was pretty much announced. Number 65 out of Newberry.
He was left guard last year.
Yeah. And so that's who they're discussing being the center this upcoming season here. We are discussing Southern Conference football with SoCon John Hooper, and he has come out on Medium with his ETSU preview. A couple other things that I do want to ask you about. You in your preseason rankings, you had, and everybody seems to, preseason player of the year on defense, Nigel Player. Why him over Adrian Hope? Why? I'm just curious here.
Well, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of the guys, but I think the one thing, the player, he's a guy that's going to be on the field more. Now that might not be true this year for Furman, but I know last year with Adrian Hope, he split some time at outside linebacker, but he was in there on pass rush situations, obviously, and affected the game. But I think it was a tough call, but Player, all overall had more tackles, had a little bit better numbers. But I think they're both, obviously All-Americans and Buck Buchanan Award candidates. But yeah, I guess for me, what Player did in other aspects of the game kind of put him over the top, so to speak. But certainly when you lead the nation in sacks, that's a big deal. And I think both of them are great players, but I think just the numbers down the line for me is what made me choose Player over Hope.
Okay, and I know that he's a little bit older. He's bigger, obviously. There's a lot of talk about his pro potential. Let's look at that size thing. Now, it was said that the top quarterback, let's put it this way, for ETSU in their scrimmage, it wasn't Thrasher who got the majority of the snaps. It wasn't Weldon who only threw 3 passes, but instead it was a 5'11", 175-pound freshman out of Tampa, Florida, Chamberlain High, and I thought he probably had the best resume of any of the upcoming freshman quarterbacks. We're talking about Tyler Riddle. Now, I only have 1 minute here, but I just want to ask you this. He's 5'11", 174 pounds. It's a long shot he'll play, but is that too small right now to play in the Southern Conference? Because I'm inclined to believe it is. 5'11", 174 as a quarterback.
Well, I mean, I think, I think height's probably more, 175 is not much, but I think about Armonte Edwards. He was about that size. He was 165, and he came in at App State, but
25 seconds.
With running the football may have made him different. But, yeah, I think, they can put weight on him. I think he can play. I mean, Drew Brees plays in the NFL, so, 175 is small, but I think you can get it done with if you look at his high school numbers.
I say look to the future and eat peanut butter with Tyler Riddle, but I liked what I did see in the scrimmage, but not right now.